sit down?
Yeah.
Oh, here, to the lead. Okay.
Slash it down one second.
Down to the
Well, the judges will not be judging on your technical abilities with it. No, that's good, thanks.
All right.
Good morning, Banks family. We're so happy to have you with us today, and we're so glad that you chose Lake Financial Company to kind of help you create a financial plan. I'm with my associates. My name is Zach Singh, Doug Beachy, Jack Rolini, Tulu Gorby. Today we're going to present a financial plan for your future. So first, we understand you have financial goals, number one being purchasing a house in the Brighton area, but we also want to set up some more goals to help you achieve that, which is establishing a budget, saving for retirement, finding some new vehicles for you, cleaning out your debt, and saving for college because you have a child on the way, which is lovely. Number one, we're going to look at your budget. So we took at 4 of the most outstanding things we believe that we could change. Your eating out we thought was exuberant to say the least, so we reduced that to about $100 with a $500 kind of mail-in meal service, so you don't have to cook as much because we know you dislike doing that. And your subscriptions, which would be your Apple Music, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, we reduced that to a single Netflix subscription, so you'll still have that entertainment value. And your sports betting, as fun as that can be at times, it is quite the drain on your finances, so we'll be reducing that to 0. And your card payments with our new plan for your family, we'll be reducing that to about $350 a month. With your previous disposable income being around $2,300 a month, now it being around $4,100 a month. Next, we're going to look at your taxes. So you yearly get an average of $3,000 in your tax return, or tax refund, excuse me, which is great. And if we look at your tax sheet over here, you're expected to pay about $9,000 in taxes. But which is really lovely for you guys is because you're having a child in the future, you then get a $2,000 tax credit off of that, which means you now have an extra $5,000 at the end of each year to spend towards whatever you'd like, which ends up being a federal tax rate of around $7,000. And you live in Michigan, which has a fixed tax rate of around 4.25%. So at the state level, you'll be paying around $4,600 in tax every year, which means at the end of the year, your combined tax liabilities will be around $12,000.
There we go. Okay, next up we're going to be addressing your debt situation. So as you can see up there with the table, currently you have just north of $90,000 in total outstanding debt coming from a wide range of areas. Now thank you to the budget cuts by my colleague Zach, we now have $4,100 in addition to the $700 we originally had paying for student loan debt, which takes us to a little under $4,900 to address debt each month. So in terms of the collection agency, which we know has been sending you some threatening mail, and that can be very scary, so it is our goal to pay them off immediately, and that should take about 2 months worth of payments. We do request, however, that you look into potentially seeing a lawyer or negotiating yourself if comfortable to try and bring that price down a little bit. I think right now it's at about $8,100. If you could just try to negotiate that down, usually collection agencies have a representative you can talk to help make prices more manageable for families. After you handle that in the first 2 months, you're going to want to address your credit card debt. And you will first address the Chase Sapphire preferred credit card because your interest there is higher, it's higher APR. And you'll just pay that off in months 3 and 4. So after months 1 and 2 of the collection agency, 3 and 4 you pay off the Sapphire card. And then in month 4 you also pay off your Delta Sky Miles card, which has a smaller APR. So your student loans are a bigger challenge simply because there's a lot more money to handle there. But after your credit cards are gone in month 4, you should be able to start doing what we call the avalanche method, which means you funnel all of your expendable income towards debt, and you poise that towards the highest interest loan remaining, which in this case would be Olivia's private loan. And you're going to flood that with as much expendable income as you can until it goes away. And then you address Marcus's federally subsidized loan until that goes away, and then Olivia's loan until that goes away as well, which should take about 20 months. We also know that you have some questions about the loan simulator online. That can be a little complicated. Essentially what it's doing is it's just showing you a plan for what each different type of payment option, so standard or graduated, what that might result in. We recommend you to stay with the standard payments so you can focus equally on all of them as opposed to starting up small and building up later, simply because this will keep interest lower and have you guys pay less in the long run.
Next, we're going to take a look at your transportation. Marcus, you currently had a 2023 Ford Explorer, bought it new at about $50,000. The current Kelley Blue Book value on it is around $35,000, which is great because you currently owe $35,000 left on it. So we apologize if you fell in love with that car, but we're going to be selling that to pay off the rest of it. And we are instead going to purchase you a 2012 Toyota Prius for around $9,000, financing for 72 months at $176 a month, which at the end of that leads to a total of $12,672. And we think that Prius is a great idea because of the excellent gas mileage it gets, and especially with that being a large expense that adds up quickly. So we want to keep that minimized. And Olivia, your car, you were currently leasing a Bronco, but that is set to end imminently. So with your new family on the horizon, we decided that purchasing you a 2016 Toyota Sienna van for around $11,500 was the best avenue for your family. We will be financing that for 72 months at around $172 a month. That would be about $12,300. And this car has a 5-star safety rating, so the children you have in the car will be more than protected in any unfortunate events. Also, it leaves room if you want to expand your family even more beyond one child.
All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about housing. So currently you are renting, but we know that it is one of your long-term goals to own a house in the near future. So right now we have you contributing about $3,000 a month for 10 months, and that will get you to a down payment of about $30,000. And although this is not enough, I know that your parents are willing to match that amount. So once you double that, you will have just enough for a down payment. And then once we move on to mortgage, we recommend that you start paying your mortgage bi-weekly in around $800 amounts. And when you pay this bi-weekly, you will save around $80,000 on interest, and you'll pay that off so much faster. All right, now we're going to get into insurance. So for insurance, I know you have a very high deductible plan for about $5,000. And although this is a high deductible, we do recommend sticking with this through your employer. And you should also plan ahead for paying this, since although having a kid is amazing, it is also very expensive. And that money will be coming out of your savings from the down payment. And I know you addressed concerns with opening a health savings account, but that money will roll over year to year, so we recommend contributing about $350 a month. For disability insurance, Marcus, the disability insurance that you have through your employer is perfect, but Olivia, we recommend that you do insure yourself for a disability, and with about 50% of your salary, that will add on a cost of about $45 a month. Life insurance, neither of you currently have life insurance, but with the upcoming mortgage and any college expenses for future kids, we do recommend insuring yourself. So Olivia, we recommend about $400,000, and Marcus around $500,000. All right, you are renting right now, and recommend sticking with your current renter's insurance, but once you make the switch and purchase a home, you will have to switch over into homeowner's insurance, and that'll add on a cost about $150 a month. For auto insurance, you are both very safe drivers right now, so we recommend raising those deductibles to save a little bit of money on insurance. And I know you talked about insurance being a big concern for your budget, but this will hopefully help lower that concern. And then pet insurance, we recommend sticking with your current plan for Howie.
All right, so now let's talk about savings. Whether it's new shingles for a roof or a blown transmission in the car, some cost is going to arise. And with our plan of $500 a month for 10 months, we will build a substantial emergency plan for you, emergency fund, so any of these unexpected costs will not burden your family. Like Tallulah and Zach referenced earlier, we recommend depositing $350 monthly into a health savings account. This will grow to over $100,000 in the long run and prepare you for any unanticipated health expenses that may arise. You addressed college savings as a very important goal for you. We recommend starting a 529 plan for your upcoming child and depositing $364 monthly. You both experienced the burden of paying off those student loans, and lifting that off of your upcoming child's shoulders would be monumental towards their future success. And now with our current plan, you'll have $500 to roll over into your checking account monthly. This will ensure you stay out of credit card debt, any unanticipated expenses will be paid for, and if there's a new espresso machine you see on Amazon that you would love to buy, you're able to make that purchase. Now let's let your money work for you and talk about retirement. Marcus, your employer will match 50% up to $2,500 yearly, and so we recommend doing that with a $208 monthly contribution. This will grow to your retirement age 60 of a little over $700,000. We also recommend starting a traditional IRA and depositing the yearly maximum contribution of $7,000 yearly. This is $583 monthly. And Olivia, you already have a Roth IRA started with a little over $6,000. We recommend, again, the maximum contribution of $7,000 annually. And this leaves us with $1,500 left over to deposit into a stock portfolio. Vanguard is a very easy to use resource for this. You can expect a 6 to 8% return annually and will grow over time to more than $2 million.
All right, and with these savings and these contributions coming from your disposable income, we are able to have total retirement funds of about $5 million, which will hopefully secure you financial freedom and safety in the future. And we hope this helps. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so does anyone have questions off of that, or I just thought of one? So one thing we talked about is childcare. I don't see childcare anywhere in there, and my parents both work full-time as well, so how are we paying for childcare if, is this budget to the penny? Like, it's hard to follow because I don't know the total monthly income, and then I don't have a spreadsheet that shows me where everything is going. Do you have one where I can look at it at a glance to help me? I'm human and I
yes.
We
have a Google sheet that I can open. We had the daycare that they had listed as $125 a month for the 2 days after school included.
Okay, but I have a newborn.
Yes, once, of course.
So for the first 5 years, how am I taking care of childcare and
Yes.
with all the savings and the payoffs that I'm doing?
I'm assuming we have to bake in the daycare cost.
We do have some money left over with financial freedom for you to do that. So after maternity leave, there is room for you to have, even if your parents can't take care of the new baby, there is money left over for it.
And just going off of that too, maybe we didn't make this clear enough also, that once that 20 months is up with the debt payment plan, that $4,900, that now becomes free expendable income, and obviously there will be emergencies you have to pay for and things like that, but we figure that there will be a child daycare plan for you somewhere in that expendable income.
Okay, but I'm gonna need child daycare in 1 month and 12 weeks.
Well, in that case,
So if I had to adjust the budget, where would I adjust the budget to say the average daycare is $300 a week? So you're talking close to the $1,200, $1,200 a month. Where am I going to find that in the budget you prepared me?
So for part of this, we understand that as a mother, being a physical trainer is very hard, especially after going through a lot of medical turmoil. So if you are able to get back to work and start physical training, maybe a little bit more hands off, there would be more income that you did not account for. So
how did you account for my income then? I don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand your answer.
so if you're on maternity leave, you have to take a break from personal training, but if you go back to that sooner and you're able to add on maybe one client in your spare time, you would have a little bit more money.
Which is more childcare costs.
Yes,
I have a question.
sure.
absolutely.
Can you tell me how many miles are on those two used vehicles? And first answer that question. Do you know how many miles are on the two used vehicles?
The Prius has around 140,000 miles on it, and the van has around 160 miles on it, but both of them had very good, was it Carfax scores?
Okay, so it's in your budget. Do you allocate money for maintenance fees, for oil changes? That is a pretty high mileage, and so on a Prius, what was the other vehicle?
The two I say in the van.
Yeah, the van. And so do you bake in the maintenance fees?
I say that's part of the emergency fund.
Yeah, that could either come out of the emergency fund if it's a substantial fix, or it could come over the rollover into our checking account that we
Okay.
accounted for.
Okay, and then what is your recommendation? I saw that you suggest you had recommendations for the life insurance policies. Do you have a recommendation for my baby's life insurance policy? And if so, what is it and what is the amount?
Life insurance can be really helpful for young children, but we do think since you are going to be financially secure and your child will not have any dependents, we think that it is safe for your child not to have any life insurance. But if you wanted to, that could be an option and we could work that into your budget.
Actually, can we go back to your slides about debt, because I had a question on
Sure.
one of the slides. So go to,
Is it?
so go to the next slide. Next one was when we got to pay off. See how it says, nope, next slide.
Yes.
Okay, thought,
Sorry if I
so-
went kind of quick here.
I missed something because so are we snowballing, wait, go back to months 1 through 3. That's what my question was.
The credit card debt.
So I'm not paying, don't pay in 3 months, does that mean you don't want me to pay the minimum due on the American Express card?
I'm
What-
saying, sorry.
What do you mean, like, just clarify what you mean by that.
I apologize for my vagueness. What I meant there was just don't accumulate, like as you can see with the Chase Sapphire card, you're paying like nearly $4,000. What I was trying to suggest is don't try to pay it off completely until the Chase Sapphire card is paid off completely. Does that-
So I'm
does that-
still making the minimum payments then?
the bare minimum, yeah, but you're
Okay.
you're attempting first to clear the Chase one completely, and so
Okay.
then you're, yeah.
That was just to clarify when I saw.
Yep,
the
I
next
apologize for
slide.
that.
Do either one of you two have another question?
I have a question about the housing. So I see that you had estimated, and I just might not have been attending to the slides. So what was your estimate for what our mortgage would be, like the total amount?
Yes.
House we could afford?
So we used the median final sale price of a house in Brighton, which we found to be $315,000. So your mortgage would be around $1,600 monthly or $838 payment bi-monthly.
Awesome,
And then that would be covered in any life insurance policies as well.
awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So you do know that not all mortgage companies will allow you to pay bi-weekly, right? So did you have a mortgage company in mind for us? Because there are many mortgage companies that will just hold your payment until the end of the month and you don't get any credit for it, or they apply it towards the principal and expect a full payment on the payment date. So were you working with a mortgage company that you got this information from?
I don't believe we had a particular company in mind. I think we just assumed that because it's so far down the line, like it's like 2 years, maybe longer, you investigate then and look at some companies in your area and then find one that can agree to a bi-weekly commission.
I do have a question on additional disposable income. Has there been any consideration for us to pick up any additional jobs?
We-
That is.
We believe that, we believe that with both of the parents working, that although the income may not be what you'd like now, we have a plan to pay it off, and the maximum amount of time you can spend with your child outside of what you're already working is necessary compared to working part-time.
The reason I ask is because, the plan, I do see, yes, please. So 1 through 3, and then, all the way up to 20 months, it just seems like an overwhelming amount coming at us, and,
Right.
I just wanted to see if there was any, consideration of picking up part-time employment anywhere, or any additional disposable income, I guess.
I do understand that looking at that must feel extremely intimidating and daunting, but we do want to stress to you at Northlake Financial that debt in the long run, you saw what your retirement could be with the $5 million retirement. With debt in the long run, though, it becomes extremely difficult to function and make other financial transactions. And so our priority is just to free you from this as soon as possible. And while that will be challenging, you'll be thanking yourselves so much in the future that you did it, because you will have so much financial freedom to do whatever you like for you and your family.
Another thing to mention is that we know having a baby is very taxing on your body, and having a job at a gym is also very taxing on your body. So we wanted to give you that consideration and have you not focus on that type of work. But if you did want to pick up clients, then that would be another way to make money.
Are any of us keeping time? Do you have it on there?
19 minutes.
I think we are at our limit.
Yes, I think we're.
So thank you guys very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
It was really
Really
great.
appreciate
It was
it.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
I can see all of your hard work.
Thank you very much.